welcome to 360 Val here, where we're going to be analyzing football and so many other games like boxing and athletics. And this time around, we're going to look at Premier League and see how it really fared over the last weekend, and see how your teams, your favorite teams, really performed, and what is really hindering them from really giving you the best. You find most of the teams where the fans are more serious than even the players themselves. Right now, let me go to Manchester United. Manchester United had a nil-nil draw with Aston Villa, and the major highlights in the game, we saw how the Eric Ten Hag really changed their lineup, dropped Alexander Martinez, and also delayed. Actually, he was also dropped, and Maguire was reintroduced actually, and you saw how he really performed very well. Manchester United actually has some different problems around itself. Actually, not only the players, even the board itself. Actually, I think for me, because when you look at the way how they're really buying players, it is actually, you see, they have really bought old players from the team Ajax, the former team of the coach Eric Ten Hag, and I'm saying that is one of the reasons why this Manchester United actually is performing like this. He's almost bringing the whole Ajax team to Manchester United, but it's okay. For me, I think also another problem is not Eric Ten Hag. Ten Hag needs really some time to really perform better. When you see Mikel Arteta, he was really given time to where he is right now, impressing everyone. Even the journalists are also being impressed by him because he was given time. When you look at Liverpool, when Jurgen Klopp came to Liverpool, it took him some time actually to start winning. When you look at Bayern, the days of Pep Guardiola, Bayern actually had all the super players, but it took him some time actually. Actually, he didn't even win the Champions League. It really needs some time. Eric Ten Hag is a good coach, but he needs really some time, and also to cut his ego, because he's really putting most of the egos to some players, and see that when you look at Cristiano Ronaldo, actually even Marcus Rashford and so many other players, so he has to really change that. Another thing, the players themselves, like Bruno Fernandes, the captain. When you look at the last game, actually, he even got a reckless red card. Actually, it was also a mistake from the referee. But once you critically look at it, actually, it was close to being a red card. So we also have to behave as players, actually, who really want to restore back the glory that Manchester United really has. Actually, when you even hear the songs, glory, glory, Man United. So it is a burden, it is a task for each and every player at Manchester United, actually, to see that the glory is restored back. When you look at the players also that Manchester United has, actually, and look at the Galacticos, the team that they had with the time they won Champions League and Premier League, when they are consistent with the Sir Ferguson, actually, they are really different players. When you look at the player like Anthony is not a Manchester United material, actually. When you see how actually he plays like high school football, he wants to dribble, he wants to wait the player to come and he dribbles him, and if he passes the ball, he's really not consistent at all. Look at the strikers like Hugman was just only good in only one season, scored only 9 goals actually, and he was even signed to come and be the striker, the number 9 for Manchester United. Really, that is not really very ideal for the team like Manchester United that has big history. If you try to compare him with some other strikers like Van Nistelrooy, was really consistent. When you remember the saga when they almost fought with Arsenal, that game actually that brought a lot of fuse with Vieira and Roy Keane, the fight actually even in the tunnel. See such kind of strikers. Look at Wayne Rooney, the incredible one from Everton to Manchester United, actually also very consistent so much. So when you try to compare them, Hugman cannot be the striker for really Manchester United. Look at the one Zach, he has just really come. Actually, hasn't put on all those the impact. When you look at him, he plays like number 10. He's not like the typical number 9. I'm trying to understand how Eric Ten Hag really wants his team to be moving. So those are some of the challenges that he's really actually Manchester United is even facing, and also the pressure. So now moving to Manchester City. Manchester City has been so consistent actually for the last 3 seasons, has been really champions of the Premier League, but they're also playing well, they're also faring very well in the Premier League, though they have a very big challenge. Actually, this is going to be one of the hardest seasons for Manchester City. Once you see their playmaker, the anchor, the everything for the team, actually, Rodri, when you remember even the last season when Arsenal actually got a win to Manchester City, because Rodri wasn't actually on the lineup. That's why actually Arsenal won. This time around, he even got another injury when he was actually playing with Arsenal, and is not going to be in any Premier League game this season until the end of the season. He's really ruled out by the coach even himself, and also the medical team. So He's one of the biggest players for Manchester. Trust me, Manchester City is really going to miss Rodri. Another factor, De Bruyne. De Bruyne, if you want Haaland to really deliver, for you, he has actually De Bruyne has to be behind him. Actually, he'll give you so many goals, 40 plus a season. But now when you look at now the situation at Manchester City, De Bruyne actually is injury prone, is now sick. Trust me, he's not going to be consistent. And by the end of the season, if Manchester City want to make some money, he has to go to the Saudi Arabia. Actually, he should be also learning. The Arabic, because I'm sure now he according to the way how he's growing, he's really aging. I think he can go really make some money for his last 2-3 seasons actually to retire football, because now he's becoming really injury prone. So those two factors actually for me, I'm seeing that this season is going to be really tough for Pep Guardiola and all his boys. But actually they played with Fulham, a very difficult team that has so many players from Arsenal, like Nelson, Smith-Lowe, and even the goalkeeper Iwobi. So it's like Arsenal B. You see how they find Manchester City, they can really die with you, and Manchester United. It really came and led the game, but they came really from behind and won that game. So that is your Manchester City. Now going to the Arsenal, I know Arsenal in the last 3 seasons actually, it has really tried to be consistent when it comes to winning games, and also seeing how actually they can come to the national cake of winning also the Premier League as a trophy. They're very close, but I'm sure there are some things that actually I don't know if it is only missing it, that Arsenal is not really doing well. Actually, it is now when it comes to their transfer market. Arsenal badly needed a striker in that window, but actually they didn't. They relied on Gabriel Jesus and Kai Havertz. I was surprised seeing Arteta selling away Nketiah, who is really a natural number 9. When you look at Gabriel Jesus, he's not a natural number 9. Even in Manchester City, he was playing coming from the wing, coming to the centre forward. Also, Kai Havertz was playing also in he's more of number 8 or number 10, so you cannot rely on him for goals actually. Though this season actually he's stepping up, he's coming up really trying to put some brilliant performance on most of the games that he has really played. But for me, when you look at Gabriel Jesus, Gabriel Jesus should really start practicing and learning Arabic, because I'm sure this is the last season of Gabriel Jesus playing at North London. I'm sure, because they're also seeing that they should really be getting some more options and get a typical number 9 if Arsenal really want to do something this season. I'm not seeing Gabriel Jesus and Kai Havertz really winning them anything this season. Though other players like Bukayo Saka, they're really stepping up. Martinelli, Trossard, the assassin, all of them really, I'm seeing them, they're trying to step up, but that last gist is really missing out something. So that's why I'm seeing Arsenal is also going to have some struggle. It is a bit actually ahead of some other teams, but I'm seeing actually it is really going also to struggle when coming to having so many goals there from all games to games. When you look at also at the game they played against Southampton has been a stubborn team to this actually Arsenal. When you remember, 2 seasons back, I think even last season they lost a game. They lost a game to Southampton, Arsenal. Yes, sir. So what I'm saying that is it wasn't really an easy game for Arsenal. When you see how they really came from behind and came and equalized a very nice goal. What a shot from Kai Havertz. It was really some good timing. He didn't really have to dribble again in the box just like Gabriel Jesus does actually. So he had to really give in a very fast shot, and it was converted into a goal actually. That was really nice. Really nice from Kai Havertz. Yes, Arsenal supporters, please, what you have to pray about is in this window January to get a striker. Like Bucharest is really very nice. He can even come. Dusan, Arsenal attempted to sign Dusan 2 seasons back. Actually, at the end, Arsenal wasn't really that all attractive to so many big players. He ended up going back to Juventus. But I'm sure now this time around, if they really become so serious and mention his name, he can come and really do something. Arsenal needs a box striker, just like Van Nistelrooy of long time being in there, because if you have Odegaard behind you, you have Bukayo Saka, you have Martinelli, trust me, they'll always put the ball in the box, and it is only one thing that is needed, is tapping in the ball. But by the time they put the ball there, Gabriel Jesus is away. When he's supposed to be shooting, he doesn't shoot. He just has to dribble again and give those reflections, which is really not really so that's why actually when you see he's now being dropped. If you want to know the real number 11, the starting 11 for Arsenal, go and look at the lineup of Manchester City, Arsenal. That is it. If you want to see how Arsenal, who is the first player, who is on the squad, the first 11 for Arsenal, look at Manchester City game. That is how it was supposed to be, and that's for me. I was waiting to see that lineup and to conclude that that is now the first 11. I know most of you don't know who should start in number 2. You see, Takehiro Tomiyasu is also really back here. He's also back. He's not really. He has no injury, but now you see how Arteta played him. He was limiting him. Actually, he didn't even give him the game. He gave Thomas Partey to come in and play in that right back. You see, actually, that is also another threat to Arsenal's midfield, because a player like Partey, who is really injury prone, when you put him to the number like number 2, that really requires a lot of hard work, a lot of running, actually you're risking him to also getting another injury. But yeah, that is Thomas Partey for you and the Arsenal at large. Now this comes to the end of our program this time around, but we're going to be really giving you 2 in the week, the pre and the post Premier League and other leagues across the world. We shall be coming with different spots here. Stay tuned and subscribe and put a like. Thank you so much.